Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be looking at I'm going to be doing my first impressions of the new Demon Hunter spec on Alpha. I ended up getting it, and this is literally just my first impressions reaction. I logged in, this is what they ended up giving me as my talents. Obviously, since this is completely new, I honestly don't know what's going to be the big go-to talents for now, not to mention they're still under construction on the left side of the talent tree for now, but I figured we would just take a good first impressions of it, what I've been thinking about it. Since there's going to be some other people that aren't familiar with my channel, I'm primarily a PvPer, so just want to put that out there, and that's mostly what I do. So that's mostly going to be from my POV, and just want to get that out of the way with disclaimer. So let's start off before we go into the rotation with talents. So with this one, it looks like Spellblade is replaced with Void Blade. So this was Spellblade, and what this does is it basically charges your target, kind of similar to Spellblade, and just does that sort of thing. So if you're playing like a melee spec, um, it's just basically changed into that if you're playing uh, the new Demon Hunter spec Devourer. So that's pretty cool. Everything else is still so far the same. Sigil of Misery still in the game. Vengeful Retreat still in the game. Unrestrained Fury, pretty much most of the stuff still the same. Void Nova is basically got switched from Fel Nova, so it's basically kind of similar. You just pop your, your stun. It's basically the same thing, so it's just a different name. Let's see what else is there. Some stuff, like I said, is under construction still. For those that don't know as well, by the way, Fell Eruption appears to be gone, so we did lose our stun, at least judging what I'm seeing, because I don't see it. I haven't checked, and there's just some stuff I know that's gone from other classes, but I didn't know Fell Eruption was gone, so Fell Eruption appears to be gone, so I guess our only CC now is, in Prison, and, Void Nova. So I think that's going to be our CC for now, because they went really hard with putting CC, so. What else is there? We also have, instead of Fell Rush, they give us Shift, which I saw this on Wowhead already, and it is really cool. So instead of Fell Rushing, you just do this. It's really cool. You're gonna have to probably make macros, so you don't have to manually click this and like every time. Obviously, this is my first time on Alpha. I don't have a macro for it, but you'll probably end up making macros for it, so you don't have to just click it. It'll be easier just to push your button, keybind, and then boom, you're there. So I do like that ability. I think it's pretty cool. So it does look pretty cool. I'm looking forward to using this, especially if you're playing, since you're playing Devourer. You'll probably be relying a lot on mobility. Everything else, like I said, seems to be about the same, other than the millions of under construction, so we'll get new stuff for that eventually. But yeah, everything on the left side, other than just a few simple, changes like Void Blade instead of Fell Blade, Void Nova instead of Fell Nova, you know what I mean? And, Devourer gets Shift instead of Fell Rush. That's what it's called, Shift. So, overall, I think it is pretty cool. Now for the right side of the talent tree. Void Ray, which is basically, your I-beam type of thing here. Let me build up some fury real quick. You can't use this until you are at 100% fury. Like, you have to be 100 or higher, and then boom, you just I-beam kind of like normal. And the thing is it drains it as well, so. But yeah, that's basically what this ability does. It's basically essentially I-beam, except you need 100 fury before you can even cast it. So that's basically what it does. Solar Immolation, which replaces Immolation Ore. It's basically kind of similar, generating 30 Fury and shattering 3 soul fragments over 5 seconds. So you drop this, and it drops soul fragments, so you can collect these for your Void Metamorphosis here, I believe. Something like that. I believe it's like that. Consume damage, so standard damage increase. The cooldown to soul immolation is reduced and it grants 1 additional charge, which is pretty nice. Replace soul immolation. Casting damaging spells has a 3% chance to. So this will activate automatically. Basically, this just does it for you. So you either get a cooldown reduced or a 1 additional charge, or the game just does it for you. So I think the 2 charge one will probably end up feeling better. This will be Void Metamorphosis. It'll be like your previous Metamorphosis as like a the other 2 specs. And this one makes your state of being substantially empowering, and your abilities grant you 4% haste. While in Void form, your Consume and Reap are enhanced, and your Fury will slowly drain. Additionally, Void Ray reduces your Fury drain, deals increased damage and no longer costs Fury. So basically, you can enter Metamorphosis here. Just in case, I'm gonna get some Fury real quick. So basically, you want to enter. I think you want to enter Metamorphosis at like maxed Fury here, and then you pop Void thing here, and then you just absolutely go ham with like your Void Rays and all that stuff. Because you want to get up you want to stay in Void as much as humanly possible. So you spam your abilities to get as much Void stuff as possible, and then once you have enough shards, you'll get this thing called Collapsing Star, and that's when you use Collapsing Star, since that'll be your huge damaging ability, and then you just absolutely shred. And then that is pretty much what you do, at least judging what I'm seeing. But yeah, you want to stay in the Void meta as it looks like as much as possible and get as many stacks as you can. And as you guys can see, you can cast a lot of your abilities pretty much on the move. So, pretty nice. There's not really much to this damage rotation though. It's like literally just like very few buttons, like at all. You can see my bars here, and it's not really much at all. You just push a few buttons. I assume this is the range build, by the way, because some of the other stuff I was looking at in the talent tree is just mostly seems to be DPS abilities. So I think this is the range talent tree that they start you with, from what I've seen. But yeah, so anyways, going back to what I was looking at before. Reap generates 10 Fury, and then Void Blade damage deals increased by 25%, and now it generates 20 Fury. While in combat, generate 1 soul fragment every 8 seconds. While out of combat, you will slowly build towards your Void Metamorphosis up to 25 souls. So this will pretty much help out a lot to get into your Void Metamorphosis very quickly. And it goes up to 25 as well, which will be pretty nice. After fully channeling Void Ray, the cooldown of Reap is reset, and your next Reap will collect up to 6 additional soul fragments. So basically, it'll help get your soul fragments if you're not nearby. So basically, let's try it like this. Yeah, they come right toward you. So that'll help you get your soul fragments pretty quickly, which will be very, very nice. Moment of Craving, already read this. Second helping, we'll read the left side a little bit. I want to go with the ones that gave me first. A second helping, Reap gains an additional charge, which will help you collect more shards, to help you, do your abilities more. Which sounds nice. Waste Not, damage of Void Ray has a 100% increased chance to generate a soul fragment. So if you use Void Ray, then you get more soul fragments, which will help out quite a bit to get Collapsing Star, basically. But basically, that's what it does, from what I am understanding. So you want to get into a Void Metamorphosis really fast, and then you want to get enough Collapsing Stars. Enough soul fragments for Collapsing Star as fast as humanly possible. Like that is pretty much your goal. So you'll be doing this while like hiding an enemy pretty much, and then use Collapsing Star on somebody. That's basically what I'm pretty sure that's how you are supposed to play Demon Hunter. So I'm assuming that's how it is. Each soul fragment gathered from Reap increases its damage by 8%, so more damage increase. Void Ray deals 20% more damage against a single target, so more damage with a single target. Collapsing Star, which is going to probably be your biggest, hardest hitting ability. While in Void Metamorphosis, every 30 soul fragments, so you want to get those 30 soul fragments like I've been showing you guys, and then once you gotta just channel it and nuke somebody. Damage is reduced by 8 beyond 8 targets, so if you you're AOing, it's not going to probably do as much, but you know, it's probably going to be your hardest hitting ability. The duration of your Feast of Souls is increased. Feast of Souls, soul fragments grant 1% damage for 10 seconds, may overlap, so this will increase your damage. Void Ray damage increase, so your Eye Beam will do more damage. Your haste is increased by 4% in Void Metamorphosis. So here's the thing, I'm not sure what our stats are going to be good for Demon Hunter right now. Obviously, the more time, we'll know for sure. I have a very strong feeling crit and haste is probably going to be the go from what I've seen. Obviously, like I said, this is literally my first impression, so I'll know more in the future the more I play this. But I'm thinking it'll probably, I don't know for PvP. I'm only speaking for PvP. So, but I'm pretty sure we're 100% going to want haste because, like, I can imagine casting in PvP is probably going to be hard sometimes, so you'll definitely want haste, especially to, you know, get your casts off. So you'll probably definitely want haste, and then we'll have to see between mastery and crit for the other one. So, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Going back to talents, the damage Collapsing Star, so more Collapsing Star damage. Second, your chance to shatter lesser soul fragments from enemies you deal is increased, so there's that. After fully channeling Void Ray, gain 20 Fury, so that'll be nice for more Fury. This is just your standard damage Reap increase. Rolling Torrent, you deal 12% increased damage for 12 seconds upon entering Metamorphosis. Damage bonus reduced over its duration, so you will get more increased damage and it goes down over time. And then this one is basically kind of similar to Evoker, where it increases your critical strike. Your damaging critical strike deals 220% increased damage instead of usual 200%. It's basically literally the exact same as Evoker. And then Eradicate, fully channeling Void Ray causes your next Reap to deal such and such cosmic damage to all enemies in front of you. So it's basically like a PvE taunt, I feel like, in my opinion. And then, let's see. Collapsing Star now generates 5 soul fragments, so you'll get even more soul fragments. And then these two, Void Metamorphosis requires 15 less souls, and your Fury drains 25% faster in Void Metamorphosis. So I think this will be good because it'll take less fragments to get into Void Metamorphosis. It would have been 50, and then this one only needs 35. And then if you combine it with, there was a talent here. This one will build up to 25 souls, so you only need 10 more souls in order to get into Void form. So I think this will be a pretty good talent for PvP. And then the other one is every soul consumed in Void Metamorphosis grants more haste. So I mean, this one is good too, but I have a very strong feeling Soul Glutton might be the way to go. Sunder, they didn't give me this one. Devour the life from your target to make yourself full again, dealing cosmic damage equal to 25% of your missing health and healing you for 50% of your missing health. So this kind of feels like a defensive. So, I mean, let me see if I can switch this out for Sunder real quick. I don't know how much it will heal for. I'm willing to try it out and see what happens though. Let's get myself low real quick. It'd be really embarrassing if I die, but you know, only need to take a little bit of fall damage. Yeah, it's basically a little mini heal. I don't know if it'll be good with like dampening and stuff and all that, but you know, it's basically kind of just like a little mini heal. It's back here, so I can get it for later. Hungering Slash. After dealing damage with the Hunt or Void Blade, they are replaced with Hungering Slash. Violently slash your scythe around you, dealing cosmic damage nearby enemies and generating 10 Fury. So basically, I think the left side is going to be more melee-oriented. The build they gave me is more ranged, which I think Blizzard is probably thinking more people would go with. And the left side seems more melee-oriented. At least that's what I'm feeling, because it's saying the hunt, and it never gave me the hunt. The hunt is kind of like more like you're gonna be hitting somebody, so like in their face. So not seems more like a melee build. So I feel like that's what they're going for. Void Step. Casting Hungering Slash grants you a temporary charge of Vengeful Retreat and causes your next Vengeful Retreat within 6 seconds to deal additional cosmic damage. The next damage of your Void Blade, Hungering Slash, and Void Step are increased. Devour Bite, Void Blade damage increased. Yeah, 100%. The left side is basically the full, is the melee build. And if you watch their videos or stuff like that, you will know they are putting a hybrid between melee and range, depending on what you preference. Or you can make a mixture of both from what I hear, but yeah, that's what I'm hearing right now. And then obviously the last point is the hunt. So, which everybody knows. So, I'm guessing they're putting the hunt in, oh wait, never mind, I'm thinking of something else, never mind. Alright, now for the left of the talent tree. I'm assuming these are the new talents they're talking about. One is Midnight, Collapsing Star always critically strikes, which is going to be really huge. Imagine always critting with that. Very nice. Midnight, all cosmic damage increase, so your damage will be more. Collapsing Star's critical strike damage is increased by 50% of your critical strike chance. So I think this is why they want Demon Hunters to run crit, is because collapsing critical strike damage is increased by 50% of your critical strike chance, and that's your hardest hitting ability. This is just my guess anyways. Midnight, entering Void Metamorphosis causes your soul to erupt, generating 5 lesser soul fragments and generating immediately access to Collapsing Star. Oh, so you automatically get to use Collapsing Star, I think, as soon as you enter Metamorphosis? That's pretty huge, actually. So you might get to use it 2 times if you're quick enough, maybe. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I feel like that's probably what it's talking about. Alright, now for the hero talent tree. Consume has a 35% chance to grant 1 stack of Voidfall. Upon 3 stacks of Voidfall, Reap consumes a stack to reach into a void and call down a meteor strike at a target's location, dealing cosmic damage to all enemies. So it's kind of like an AoE thing. Each stack of Voidfall grants you haste, so more haste the better, because obviously you're going to be a caster. Haste is really nice. Void Ray damage increased, granting or fully channeling Void Ray grants 1 stack of Voidfall. Catastrophe, enemies stuck by a Voidfall meteor take additional 25% damage over 8 seconds, which would be pretty nice. Each stack of Voidfall grants 2% reduced damage taken, so less damage taken is always nice. Each stack of Voidfall grants 3% movement speed, and Shift was 1 additional charge. I think Shift is just too good, and like, it's gonna be your fail risk. Like, there's no way nobody's not gonna take this every single time. So, we're always gonna take this for more mobility. So, for sure, that is gonna be the one to go to. Great, gain 3 stacks of Voidfall and reset the cooldown of Reap upon activating of Void Metamorphosis. So you'll get your Reap reset to help you get your shards back up every time you get into a Void Metamorphosis quickly. So that'll be pretty nice. Consume generates 5 additional Fury and deals 25% increased damage, so your filler spell will do more damage. Passive bonuses granted by each stack of Voidfall persist for 12 seconds after being consumed. By the way, you can pick any of these talents right now, but you're not going to get them all as soon as the spec comes out. You have to get them all leveling. So just as a quick heads up. While at 3 stacks of Voidfall, Reap consumes all 3 to rapidly call down that many meteor strikes. So more meteor strikes. Dark Matter, your first collapsing star after casting Void Metamorphosis causes a cosmic meteor to assault the area, dealing cosmic damage over 6 seconds. So you'll get another meteor. It seems to be a lot of meteors with this. Collapsing Star, Voidfall meteors deal 35% increased damage when striking a single target. Each additional target reduces its bonus. So it's basically kind of another thing that is similar to Collapsing Star, where it just does less damage against the more targets you hit. World Killer, the 3rd Voidfall meteor strike pulled down in sequence is a larger, has 50% increased area and deals 100% increased damage and generates 2 soul fragments. So the 3rd meteor strike does more damage, basically. I'm not too sure. I have to experiment with more with Annihilator because the whole meteor thing is kind of weird to me and I don't understand it yet, but that's basically what the hero talent tree does. Last but not least, the most important thing, PvP talents. New ones. Inevitable End. Collapsing Star cannot be interrupted and its damage is increased 100%. This is going to be 100% picked because not only do you not get kicked, which is huge, it increases its damage, so this is probably guaranteed 100% pick. Armor Souls. Your armor is increased and by 50% and taking damage has a 12% chance to generate a soul fragment. So here's the thing, this one's also another good one. This one might be auto-picked in as well, or if nothing else, it'll be one of the good ones, so this one's 100% really good. I mean, having armor increased as well as generate a soul fragment, pretty huge in my opinion, so this one's really good. Surrender to the Void. Void Metamorphosis requires 50 souls. While in Metamorphosis, your damage is increased by 20% and effects that grant you Fury grant 100% additional Fury. This one, like, there's a lot of good PvP talents, I'm not gonna lie. I still feel like Inevitable End will be definitely auto lock-in. Surrender to the Void. Void Metamorphosis gonna be 50 souls instead of 35, but your damage will be increased. This one might end up being good depending on how it is down the line. Glimpse is still in the game, Determine is the game, Cleanses by Flame still in the game, Cover of Darkness. Last new one is Beckon. Beckon reproduces the cast time of your next consume by 100% and causes it to generate one additional soul fragment. So basically, when you cast Reap, you'll be able to consume for just instant. So, for example, here, let me turn on War Mode here. Then we use Reap here, and Insta Consume. So this one could be really, 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 really good too. So they have like 4 good talents. I would say Beacon, Armor Souls, Surrender the Void, and Inevitable End. I think Inevitable End, like I said, will be 100% lock-in, and then the other ones you can kind of mess around with. Glimpse is still in the game as well, so you can kind of just immune to CC, but I feel like with the CC nerf that's coming in PvP, maybe you might not need to run that as much. So you could probably run Armor Souls or when you take damage, you can get like a Soul Fragment. It's 12% chance, but you know. Or you can run Surrender the Void and do more damage that way. Or you can run Beckon, and when you cast Reap, you can insta use your filler and get some, you know, some things that way, you know? It just depends. Either way, this is my first impressions. It's a long video, but, you know, this is just my first impressions. Let me know what you guys think. I tried to go into as much detail as I could. Like I said, this is just my first impressions. I'd rather do that than, you know, get everybody, you know, just my first impressions of it. We'll know more as soon as they get more talents and stuff, and I'd be curious to let me know what you guys think of the spec. Are you excited for it? Is it disappointing you? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys for the next video. Peace.